Hello everyone, welcome. My name is Benjamin Yoder. As you probably know, I always introduce myself, but we're on the Patreon, so I'm gonna guess if you're giving me money, you probably know who I am. But today we're gonna be doing our follow-up to the PC-FX unboxing, our PC-FXGA unboxing video, and we're gonna be trying to install this card in my PC-98. So if you don't know, I'm not gonna try to flip it around and show the front to you right now. But I have a PC-9801 BX3 system, and so, you know, if you don't know what a PC-98 is, it is basically a desktop computer from the time, and this card is basically installable in one of these types of systems. Now, I'm going to be completely upfront with you. One thing I probably should have done, but I did not do, was check to make sure this card could even be installed in my system properly. I see that you can see right there, we have an extra slot down there, so I'll probably be taking that off today and seeing if this card that I have right here is gonna fit. I think it should. I don't anticipate any problems, but we'll see what's gonna happen. Now, when I upload this video, you're not gonna get me trying this out at this point, probably. You're probably just gonna get me just doing this, and then I'll probably have like a separate video where I do some testing of stuff afterwards. So we're on like a 3-part journey maybe, depending on how this goes, right? I also did a little bit of a different setup here with this little I don't know what you call it, mechanical contraption. There's like multiple pieces set up here that let me bend this camera around a little more. The main goal is to get some more height on the camera so I could more easily like show you stuff. You're not going to get the entire PC box view, but we're going to get the majority of it. So I think this might be helpful. And long term, we might go with like a different stand setup. But for now, I think this is going to be good. I'm also going to use my shirt microphone as well, because I've noticed there's still issues with this microphone I have here with like static problems. So I'll just kind of have to think of what to do about that. This is going to be okay for, you know, what we're doing right now probably. But ideally, I'd like to, you know, get a microphone that's not going to have any problems in the future with that. So first thing we're going to do is kind of go ahead and unscrew some of these screws. It's been a while since I opened this thing up, so I'm not 100% sure how many screws I got to get rid of, but we'll go ahead and get started here for that. So I'm going to get over here. There's 2 screws on the side, so let me go ahead and get at least this one out. I'm pretty sure there's 2 screws, one on each side, but you know what, let me actually go get a little cup to put these screws in as well so I don't lose them. That would be good to do. All right, so I don't know how many different types of screws we'll have to deal with here, but we have at least somewhere to keep our screws. So you can come back here, get you guys a nice butt shot there, and I was correct. There is a screw on the other side here too. You know, I probably should be on the other side. I came on this side because I was already walking over here, but I could very easily reach that from the other side of the table where I should be standing. So anyway, so we got the side screws. I don't think those are the only 2 screws. I could be wrong, but let's see. I think there might be some on the bottom as well. Just gonna feel around this real quick. I probably should have checked before I actually took those screws out. I'm gonna go ahead and set this up on the side. This thing is pretty hefty. Okay, there's 2 screws right here as well. So let me go ahead and let me check the bottom here real quick too. So let me flip this up. Yeah, we're just gonna need those 2 screws on the back, I think, in addition. So let me go get those 2 screws, and then the metal plate, we'll have to remove those screws as well. I might go ahead and do that while I'm here for that. So oops. Be really careful not to strip any of these. I am amazing at stripping screws, so I would like to not do that because I don't know how to maintenance these things really. All right. Screw has been released. Confirmed. Okay. Oh yeah, we're gonna remove these 2 screws as well. The tiny screws. So these tiny screws are gonna be for this plate here. There we go. Nice and easy. Yeah, so we do have a sound card in here already. I would ideally like to keep that in, although I have had problems with that sound card, so I don't know if in the future I might need to replace it. And the top slot on here, you guys can see, that's a flash card. replace the hard drive on it, so there's a flash card reader on there instead. So, all right, come on. Release yourself, please. Please release yourself. There we go. Okay, 2 tiny screws. So does this come off now? Yes. All right, promising. So far, very promising. All right, let's see if we can go ahead and get this panel off. I forget how I did this before and how hard it was. I think it might just be a slide back if I recall correctly. Considering how these screws came off, that would seem reasonable. But I'm not 100% sure. Oh, there's another screw on top here. You guys could see that. I couldn't. All right. Hopefully this is the last one. There we go. There we go. Nice and easy. Maybe. Yep. Nice and easy. Cool. So we got that off the back. Okay. Well, there's definitely some stuff going on in here. I haven't really tried to look in here before to see what we're going to really have to deal with. But as you can see, we have right back here, try to rotate it for you to see. We got this thing going on here. This is where the actual slot is that this is going to go in. So essentially, our end goal will be to get this thing in here, essentially. Whether it's a slide in or something we have to unscrew and take apart, I don't know yet. I imagine we can probably just slide this in. Let's see. Seems promising. Okay. Text is right side up. It's a good sign. I'm going to take this little plastic piece out just to keep it out of the way. We might keep it in there long term. And then we have our self-slider. This might be easier than I thought, but you know, let's not count our wins quite yet. Okay, so it looks like the flash card reader is actually not really connected to this top here. So there's like technically a free slot up there. Would prefer not to have to move it if I don't have to. So now I do feel like the slot here is not really lining up the way I want it to. I do have another light. Let me get this light turned on. I technically don't have like a way to actually power it on normally. These all these lights are USB powered, so I have to have a USB port. And the other 2 lights I have over here do have a USB port to plug into. This one does not, so I have to plug in like a phone battery. You can see it actually down here in the corner video. Phone battery thing. So I'm just gonna plug into that. Is this a fire hazard? Maybe. Who can say? Let's see if this helps at all with come on. Oh, maybe not. I did this last time. Oh, is my button broken? Let me try the other battery, maybe. I used this one last time, I'm pretty sure. Oh, the light's on. There we go. I think there's just some weird going on there. All right. I don't know if that really did anything for you. Maybe something like this. Gives you kind of a light down there. Yeah, I don't know if that's really helping you out. Yeah, I think I'm just making this worse. All right. Lights out the window. Okay. Back to normal then. All right. So all that stuff aside, let's see what we can do. Oh yeah, I forgot there's like a dead hard drive just hanging out in here. Okay. Well, I know for sure this is not lined up properly right now. Just looking at how these pins are going in. So it makes me wonder if I should come in, maybe lay this down flat on its face instead. But it might be the actual like docking process I may have. It's like a weird plastic piece on the top of this. I don't want to remove it because I don't know what it is. Hopefully it's not something I need to remove. Oh boy. You're like, Ben, it looks like you're making a mess and you don't know what you're doing. Don't worry. I don't know what I'm doing. Alright. Yeah, I'm wondering if it makes more sense to do this on the other side here. Alright, so this is going to take this camera view away from you guys, unfortunately, but I'm going to try to do this a bit vertically. If you're like, Ben, that's stupid, don't do it. I'm sorry. It's too late. My brain is here and doing this. So yeah, you're not really going to be able to see this, unfortunately. Definitely tell that the card's not going in quite as straight as I'd like it to. Alright, I see there's some brackets I need to get into it. Okay. Alright, we fit into the brackets there actually, so I think that might be good for us. That might lead us to the win we need here. I think these should... This looks like it's lining up. Now, the one thing I have trouble with computers is I don't know how forceful to be with this. I'm not somebody who likes to be very forceful with this kind of stuff. But I know that often I think something is not working when it's just I need to be more physically demanding. So I know I just gave you guys that view, but I think we're gonna try to push it in this way. I think I'll be able to get a little more pressure on it this way, so. Come on. I don't really know if it's going in. It feels like the metal part on the back here is flush now. So I might just take a guess that it's in there. I think it's in. Now you computer gamers out there might be looking at that and saying, Ben, that's completely loose. Computer gamers, well, it feels good. I can definitely tell that it's in there. Does it feel solid? Not necessarily, but you know, I think it feels reasonably in there, and I feel like that's as far as I'm going to be able to get on this thing. So let's get our special tiny screws here. I do have that metal plate left over. So, alright, so we got our little tiny screws here we're going to put in here. It's going to go right here. That feels like it went in. So, I mean, you know, assuming this is the end of it, that was actually a pretty simple installation. I probably didn't even need to take the top off, to be completely honest with you. But, you know, it gives you a look inside of my PC-98, what's going on in there. So, hopefully I don't have any trouble putting it back together. Now, one thing I think I did mention... Oh, I put that in the wrong thing. One thing I think I mentioned last time, I wasn't quite sure where the sound was going to be coming out of this thing. It looks like this specific card has its own sound output. So... I don't think I have to worry about my sound card not playing nice. Someday I'll need to figure out the sound card situation. That is not today, for better or for worse. Someday. Well, that seems pretty reasonable. So, as I said, I'm not necessarily going to go ahead and fire this up. Oh, maybe I'll fire it up on camera. We'll find out. This may or may not be the end of the video. If it just cuts, then you know that I'll be returning back to show you guys what's up here. But all what's really left is to put the top back on, assuming everything is working. So this thing is a little uneasy once it starts leaning over, but there's so much weight on it, that's probably why. But you know, this is why I'm testing these little things. I'm generally trying to keep the cost of this setup over here pretty low. I don't really want to spend a ton of money on a setup that I'm not going to use super often. I'd rather reuse as much as I can, especially since I have stuff sitting around specifically for this reuse situation. Now, I will say the microphone I have over here, the white one, you know, I've done a lot to try to get that thing to play nice, and unfortunately, I have not been able to get it to play nice. So I think this might be one of the last times you guys are going to see this white microphone over here. So I'm not quite sure the best way to get this thing on. I'm making a lot of noise, which is probably good. Okay, I feel like some kind of metal piece is stuck here. I know last time I kind of came in from above here, so maybe we can go something like this, like that, and like come down. There we go. That seems to be the cleanest way to do that. All right, then we just got some screws to screw back in. I believe all these screws are maybe the same size, same length. Let's see if we can take a look at it just to make sure. One of these might be smaller. I don't know what it went to though. I think it might be the one. Let me see. How many of these screws are there? So 4 of them look the same. So I'm gonna guess the 2 on the sides here, and then the 2 on the back corners here are the same ones. And the smaller one I'm gonna guess was the one that went up here, like that area. Which maybe I should line that one up first, because that one actually goes around the case onto the metal bracket where these screw through. So I want to make sure that one is lined up and able to get in there. I think that's what I want to do with that. Feels very loose. It almost feels like it's not catching, which is not a great sign. I think it might be because this case is not pushed all the way in, maybe. No, it's definitely loose. Alright, let me see. So you guys gonna get the butt view again. Butt attack. Maybe we should do one of these other ones first. It is definitely lined up, so maybe we can use this to kind of like secure it a bit more. Push it up further. Once I do these ones, I think it should push the metal up. If you're like, Ben, that doesn't make any sense, don't worry about it, man. I don't know what I'm doing, so if you're like that, doesn't seem super reasonable, the answer is probably it is not super reasonable. So for example, this screw is not going in for some reason. You guys are gonna get moved a little bit. Let's see if I can get down here. Oops. Hopefully I can give you guys a view while I do this. I don't know how reasonable that will be. Let me see. I think you can see this. Okay, well, it did tear at the metal a little bit, which is not great, but I think as long as I push it in there, it should catch. No? See, this is why I'm terrible at this kind of stuff. Like, that is the spot it should be in. It just doesn't feel like it's going in there in the way I want it to go. Like, I don't know why this doesn't work. Everything looks right, other than the metal just being... Maybe it's just the fact that the metal's raised off. I don't know anything. I don't know why this one played nice, while that one does not. Oh God. Anytime you see me doing these kind of handy hand things, it's going to be a struggle. So if you're like, I really want to see some kind of professional do these, you are getting the most amateur person. And this is why I cannot be trusted with anything that is, you know, one of a kind. Really shouldn't be trusted with much hardware maintenance at all. All right, so I think what we're going to do is just kind of refeed feel the metal around this. Okay, let's see if that works out better for us here. Are these different sizes at all? They still look the same to me. Okay, give it another shot. Again, if you were just seeing my back, I'm gonna apologize right now. I will guarantee all we're seeing here are screws going in. By going in, I mean not going in, so. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know why this particular, I mean, is this a different screw? I don't see why it would be. I would think it'd be the same as all the other screws here. All right, well that fit in, so we're gonna go with that for now and see how that goes for us as we go around the world here. This screw's definitely going in here. Got this baby screw here going in. And these all feel right. So maybe it's just that one has a different screw. I don't know why that would be the case, but I did do a great job of tearing the metal for a little bit, trying to get that to work. So, all right. Well, let me go back to the other side now. Again, butt cam. Whoop, 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 whoop. But again, if you couldn't see anything, you're not missing that much. You're just missing me doing a bad job with the screws. All right. One screw here. And last screw here. Oh, come on. There we go. Oh boy, come on. Exciting. Screw in. Well, as much trouble as I had with those screws, that was fairly uneventful, fairly trouble-free. Now, as I mentioned earlier, for now, I'm going to assume we're not going to cut to me doing anything at the moment, but if I do, cool, we'll do that. Anyways, that's it for this video. Again, thank you so much for subscribing to the Patreon if you have. So I'm gonna plan on at least one more of these if you don't get anything at the end of this video already. We'll go from there, and hopefully we'll be playing some PC-FX games on here shortly. You know, pretty straightforward setup here, just basically the exact same plugs as a normal PC-FX. All the audio cables are slightly different for that. So I think these should plug into my current setup perfectly fine. Even the video output is going to be just like the PC-FX one. So other than having to boot up the system and figure out how to get into the PC-FX mode, which it may boot up by itself, I'm not quite sure. I think it's going to be a pretty straightforward setup. So thank you again. Bye.